What is up, everybody? Matt here, back again, and I feel it's time we took a look at one of the most embarrassing pieces that I have in my Kiss collection. So, this is Kiss Immortals, the DVD, and I really don't know what to say. Let's travel back to Christmas in the early 2000s, okay? And my family had just gotten a DVD player. And this was a relatively, DVD players had been around, obviously, for a while. But they really hadn't been affordable. And this was like a one Christmas where everybody got a DVD, And so we get one. We know we're getting one. And each member of the family got a DVD. A couple of us a couple DVDs. Like my dad got The Magnificent Seven, my mom got, I think, like The Thing and Blown Away. Yeah. And I got The Goonies and this. I was lucky enough, or unlucky enough, to be the first person to watch one of their DVDs on the family room TV, on the new DVD player, and this was what I picked. And there on Christmas morn, in front of my whole family, I knew the true meaning of the word humiliation. What unfolded in front of me was just an animated adventure, and I use that term very lightly, that just continued to embarrass me. The band travels through a wormhole to another dimension to fight aliens in a world where music is illegal and instruments have the power to like shoot flames and stuff. And they go on this crazy adventure where there are moments where like their hands morph into claws or like, robot arms or something like that. And the best way I can describe it is if you know that one episode of Family Guy where they have the Kiss Save Santa parody. It's that, but it's real. It actually exists, and it takes itself... I mean, there are obviously jokes in here, but it feels like it's taking itself very seriously. And as a kid, wanting to, respect the band, I took it seriously as well, which led to the, the cringy part of this whole thing. So, this is a 3D animated cartoon starring the band as themselves. It was released in 27 5-minute episodes that were featured on VH1.com and I think another website that was like entertain.com. I've looked up all the websites that are featured on the back of this DVD, and they are all long gone. None of these exist anymore. My first exposure to this animation was actually at a Kiss show. When my dad took me to the farewell tour, they had these big TV screens, and they played the opening bit of this when the band played Detroit Rock City, and I was blown away by this otherworld animation that had come out of nowhere, and I made it my mission in life to figure out what that animation was, where it had come from, all this stuff. And I used to get a catalog. And I think the website is still open. It was a website called Kiss Museum that had a bunch of Kiss merchandise. And they had a listing for this DVD. Kiss Immortals on DVD, a multi-path adventure. We'll talk about that in a second. And I had a name, I had a title, I had a cover. I knew what I was looking for when it came to this thing. And so, again, DVDs were kind of just coming into, a reasonable, amount of people's hands, and I searched every time we went to any store that sold DVDs. I went right to the K's, saw if I could find this thing, and I just could not find it. And I was giving up hope when the GameStop at the mall had in their very meager used DVD section this exact copy. This is the exact copy they had at that store. And my parents thankfully took the hint, and they were like, we gotta get this for him for Christmas. They got it for me, and yeah, that's when the pain began. So this is a choose your own adventure, or multi-path DVD is what they call it. And so what happens is, at certain points in the movie, these icons come up where you can choose, okay, are the characters going to go left or are they going to go right? Or, like, are they going to interfere or are they going to, you know, look the other way? Or is Ace going to make a crappy joke? Or is Jean going to get mad? You know, what exactly is going to happen here? And some of them ended with the band dying, and it just cut to the credits, and I was like, oh, I guess I made the wrong choice. Which is great for a kid, you know, it takes you all the way back to the beginning and you have to start all over, and yeah, so it was kind of like a game, kind of like a movie. I expected it to be like a game, that's what I thought it was, mostly because, and I think this is just because at the time, it talks about, oh, it's safe to use on your PC, it's safe to use in a game system, you know. So I thought, oh, okay, it's like a PC game that you can play on your DVD player. And yeah, it was not that case. And this company made a bunch of these DVDs. I don't know if any of them ever got released, but there's previews on here for like a Superman one, a Xeno one, a Dracula one, and even an Ace Ventura Pet Detective one. Again, I don't know if those ever got made, but I've seen screenshots, there are trailers on here, so somebody worked on them at some point. That at least happened, but were they ever commercially released? I have no idea. So we're sitting there, Christmas morning, I'm in my PJs, the whole family's sitting around, and we're sitting through this monstrosity of a movie, and right off the bat, we're greeted by... I love Kiss, I do, but their voice acting, their acting in general is pretty awful, it's pretty bad. I don't know if anybody explained to them what was going on or gave them any direction with this particular film, but their voice acting is awful. They have not improved since Kiss Meets the Phantom. Yeah, it's still pretty horrible. So there are actually a few videos on YouTube of this DVD, so you can seek it out if you want. There's even a full DVD rip, but it's like it's all out of place or something. I don't know what it is, but seek that out if you want. Just do a search for Kiss Immortals. It comes right up. But everything about it is bad, and it was like awkwardly like kind of adult too. Like they made some jokes that, even though I was a kid, I understood, okay, that's kind of an innuendo, that's kind of inappropriate, you know, and my whole family is sitting around watching this. And, you know, my family, we love to pick on each other and everything like that, so I could just feel the heat of embarrassment on me, and they were like, oh, we gotta get him so bad for this. And I don't remember everything that they said. I think my mom said we made a great contribution to the Gene Simmons Retirement Fund, and I think my dad said something to the effect of, it looked better live, which, I mean, it did, but, you know, whatever. So yeah, but it was all in good fun, but yeah, everything about this is bad. The story, the animation, the voice acting is so unbelievably bad. Speaking of the animation, there is a shot where Kiss enters, like, a chamber with all these aliens, and one of the aliens was, like, placed in the hallway that the band is entering, and then it, like, jumps back into the crowd. So it's like that wasn't supposed to be there, but now it's there. And there's also a great part where they walk into that same scene, and a guy's going, look at the boots, look at the boots, look at the boots, and it's just that same clip. They just ran it over and over and over again, and it was, yeah, it was just pretty horrible. One of the most confusing parts about the film is Gene, because he makes this noise, and I think it's what they were trying to do kind of with Kiss Meets the Phantom, where he would do that animal growl, and in Kiss Meets the Phantom, it's overdubbed with a lion growl. In this, it's just Gene going, "Argh," and that's the noise. I'm not even exaggerating. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he's doing a bad impersonation of Marge Simpson. And it was just so like, because it keeps happening, so you're like, is this supposed to make me feel intimidated by Gene? Is this supposed to be a joke? What is happening here? So in this world, Kiss are demigods. Their symbols are all over the place, and they're supposed to use their music to free this world that's been enslaved by these people called Destroyers. You only meet one of them. Her name is Domino. Haha, get it? So yeah, it was pretty awful. Another interesting thing about the voice work is that it's the band doing their voices. It's very clear that that's who it is. But then there's parts of the movie where it's very clearly not them. So like, there's a part where Gene says, "No way, Kiss does not retreat." And, you know, Gene, all these guys have very specific voices. You know, they have very distinct voices that you know what they sound like. If you've been listening to them for years, which Kiss fans have, you know what they sound like. And so to hear that voice come out of Gene, it was like, wait a minute, that's not his real voice. So I don't know if they recorded those lines and they were bad, or they didn't record them, or what the situation was. And it happens multiple times in the movie, where across multiple band members this happens, and it's like, what happened here? You know, like, what is going on? As a kid, I tried my best to defend it. I tried my best to, you know, stand behind it. It was one of those situations where, and everybody has had this before, where you wanted something and you've waited for something for so long, and then you get it and it's awful, and you can't admit to yourself how horrible it really, really is. You don't want to believe it's that bad. And that's what I did. I kept defending it, being like, no, it's good, it's good. And it wasn't. I sat there for what seemed like an eternity, watching every bit of this thing, of trying to absorb every name of a character, every bit of plot, of anything, to try to figure out what was going on, because they kept adding onto this. It was like, we understand their language, but we don't really understand it. Oh, the instruments are good, but they're also evil. Oh, I'm changing. Oh, I'm not changing. We gotta get here, we gotta do this. And it just kept piling and piling on. And the more I tried to understand what was going on, I got more and more confused. And I just kept telling myself, when it gets to the end, they're gonna explain everything, it'll all make sense, and this will all be worth it. So, we get to the last act of the film. And Kiss, they get captured, they escape on a spaceship, Ace flies it, they use their guitars to shoot the enemy spaceships out of the sky, whatever. So they get to where the bad guys are, I guess. They get out, somebody asks, what do we do now? And then Gene looks at them and goes, I'll give you just one guess. And then it cuts to the credits. And I was shocked. I thought I had made a wrong decision, because, you know, up until this point you're choosing, did they go left, to go right, did they this or that, and I thought, oh, I got the bad ending. So I went back to the beginning and did the whole thing over again. I did this like 5 times that day, trying to figure out, what did I do to get this really crappy ending? Where's the big final battle? Where's the reveal of all this stuff? And it didn't happen. That was the ending that I got. That was the ending of all the paths that you could take. That was it. And I was just floored. I was upset. I was just angry. I couldn't believe that was what had happened. It wasn't until much later I got my answer. So this was a web series that was on VH1.com that consisted of 27 5-minute episodes. On this particular DVD, you only get episodes 1 through 9. So there are 18 episodes missing off this DVD. So you don't get the conclusion of what happened here. I wasn't alone in my confusion, because I went online to try to figure out what is going on here. Where's the ending? And other people were like, yeah, there's supposed to be more. I remember seeing more of these back when they came out, and blah, blah, blah. So it was like, something's wrong here. Yeah, they only released episodes 1 through 9 on that DVD. And then what happened was, if you lived in a PAL region, they released a PAL DVD that had all 27 episodes on it. So it was even more confusing, because people were saying, no, I bought the DVD, it's all there, what are you people talking about? So it was just really frustrating. And then, you know, it's one of those things that I truly felt at that moment like a mark. I really did. You know, I got bamboozled. They put Kiss on a DVD hoping it would sell just because it said Kiss on it, and it did. And it worked on me, and I was just like, oh, they got me this time, you know. I felt just like so embarrassed that, you know, this had happened. But, you know, to me, it seems like everybody has a moment like that. You know, and that's part of growing up in a way. You know, you have to kind of experience that bait and switch. So, You know, there's no way anybody could tell you about that and you go, oh, okay, I get it, until it happens to you. And then you're like, oh, you just feel so embarrassed and sad. And what's so sad about it is it happens to kids the most. You know, it's like, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be great, and then you see behind the curtain and there's nothing. You know, it's always too good to be true. And you know, maybe it's because of nostalgia. Maybe it's because of something else, but I still have this DVD. I still have it, you know, and in the end, I can look back on it and laugh, and I can watch scenes from this and laugh, and, you know, of how horrible it is, and, you know, just what a mess it was, and it made a good, cringy, you know, childhood story. And I still keep this DVD, maybe for nostalgia reasons, but maybe also to remind me, you know, at times that all that glitters is not gold, you know? So maybe that's it. That said, you know, I'm still a Kiss fan after all these years. I think this is really a great example of, to me, how Kiss is, like, important to me, because it's like, how many times do I have to get burned for this, for me to say, you know what, no more, you're not getting any more of my money? It still hasn't happened yet. They could put Kiss on anything and I'm probably going to buy it. But yeah, I just thought, you know, I haven't really seen anybody talk about this, anybody really mention it. And maybe that's because maybe this is the only copy. I don't know. There was only one copy that I ever found. You know, and I've been going to DVD stores, you know, like Vintage Stock and Hastings and all these other people, all these other places. And they never have this. I've never seen this anywhere else, so maybe this is like a lost relic, you know, to people or something like that. But I thought it would make an interesting story now that I have this channel. And yeah, so look it up if you want. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the Kiss Immortal DVD. I will see you guys next time.